welcome back to our channel. All the coins that quietly traveled through the pockets, purses, and palms of Americans in the early 1980s, few would expect the 1981 United States one-dime coin to one day capture the imagination of collectors and historians alike. Yet, tucked within this tiny disc of copper and nickel lies a fascinating story of American resilience, artistic tradition, and hidden fortune. As mundane as it may have seemed back then, the 1981 dime today stands as a brilliant reminder that greatness often comes in the most unassuming forms. The year 1981 was a pivotal time in American history. Economically, the country was grappling with inflation and entering a new era of economic policy under President Ronald Reagan. Amid these changes, the U.S. Mint continued its steady production of coinage to meet the needs of a bustling economy. But even in times of great change, some traditions remained firmly in place, one of which was the continued minting of the Roosevelt dime. First introduced in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt's enduring legacy, particularly his dedication to fighting polio through the March of Dimes campaign. Sculpted by chief engraver John R. Sinnock, Roosevelt's dignified left-facing portrait on the obverse and the torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse became synonymous with American small change for generations. In 1981, the dime was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bore a P mint mark, an important identifier that helped distinguish coins based on their origin, an innovation that was relatively recent at the time. Denver's dimes, marked with a D, were mass-produced for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint specialized in proof coins, created specifically for collectors with extraordinary detail and polished finishes. Although millions were minted, only a small fraction survived the decades in the pristine condition that collectors now covet. What truly makes the 1981 dime fascinating today is the existence of rare mint errors and exceptional grades. Coins struck off-center, double-struck, or those struck on planchets meant for other denominations are exceedingly rare and can command incredible premiums. Moreover, those dimes that exhibit the full band, FB, feature, where the horizontal bands on the torch's handle are fully struck and clearly defined, are considered among the finest examples and are highly sought after by collectors. It's the quality of strike, preservation, and those rare errors that transform an otherwise common dime into a numismatic treasure, and when speaking about treasure, it's important to mention that some rare specimens of the 1981 one-dime coin, particularly those in flawless mint condition or bearing significant errors, have reached stunning valuations between $62,000 and $130,000. Such staggering figures are not commonplace, of course. They are reserved for coins that have been professionally graded at ultra-high levels like MS-68 or MS-69 for regular strikes, or PR-70 for proof coins. These extraordinary pieces represent the zenith of numismatic quality, a perfect storm of history, artistry, and sheer luck. The journey of a 1981 dime from everyday pocket change to a high-profile auction item is a journey filled with wonder. Picture a coin, once used to buy a newspaper or a cup of coffee, now sitting under the bright lights of an auction house, with eager bidders vying for ownership. Collectors value not only the physical attributes of these coins but the stories they carry, the sense that, somehow, amidst billions of other coins, this one dime survived unblemished through decades of use, economic hardship, and technological revolution. Finding one of these rare gems can happen in the most unexpected ways. Stories abound of lucky individuals discovering valuable dimes in old change jars, estate sales, or inherited collections. Each discovery feels like uncovering a hidden piece of America's past, a silent witness to years of change and continuity. This is part of what makes numismatics so compelling. Every coin is a capsule of history, art, and human experience. The appeal of the 1981 dime also lies in its symbolism. The Roosevelt dime honors a president who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, embodying resilience and perseverance. The reverse side's imagery, the torch of liberty, the olive branch of peace, and the oak branch of strength and independence, perfectly encapsulates the American spirit. These themes remained profoundly relevant in 1981, a year when the United States was undergoing social and political transformation, and they continue to resonate today. As collectors continue to search for these elusive high-grade examples, the 1981 dime has secured its place in the pantheon of remarkable American coins. Its story serves as a powerful reminder that treasures are often hidden in plain sight. While most dimes from 1981 will forever remain simple artifacts of everyday commerce, a precious few stand apart, capturing the essence of a nation's journey and rewarding those who appreciate the intricate beauty of even the smallest coin. So the next time you come across an old jar of coins, don't dismiss that small, worn dime too quickly. Within its modest frame could be a gateway to history, a symbol of enduring strength, and possibly, a fortune beyond your wildest imagination. The 1981 United States one-dime coin teaches us that in life, as in numismatics, the real value often lies beneath the surface, waiting patiently to be discovered by those who know where, and how, to look. In the bustling heart of America in 1977, where disco lights shimmered and the spirit of change swept across cities and towns, there circulated an unassuming little coin that would one day astonish collectors across the globe. It was the humble 1977 United States one-dime coin, a coin that bore the familiar face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, yet carried with it mysteries and stories hidden beneath its modest silver glow. At the time, no one could have predicted that this ordinary dime would eventually spark fierce auctions, intense searches, and valuations that could rival the cost of a luxury car minted during an era where the nation was healing from past scars and forging ahead into new dreams. The 1977 dime came from three primary sources: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced millions of these coins, ensuring that they were as common in pockets as the songs of Fleetwood Mac were on the radio. Yet, as history often teaches us, true rarity isn't about numbers, it's about survival, quality, and the extraordinary among the ordinary. Most dimes entered the everyday churn of American life, exchanged for cups of coffee, saved in handfuls for family vacations, or forgotten in the dusty corners of old coat pockets. The Roosevelt dime, since its inception in 1946, had symbolized progress, perseverance, and honor. Designed by John R. Sinek, the simple yet profound imagery of the torch, oak, and olive branches on its reverse side carried deep meanings: strength, peace, and liberty. These weren't just design choices, they reflected the aspirations of a post-war America yearning for peace yet prepared for challenges. For most Americans in 1977, though, the dime was just another coin to slide across diner counters, tuck into birthday cards, or clink into vending machines. Only later would the hidden magic of certain 1977 dimes be revealed. What sets the truly valuable 1977 dimes apart from the countless millions is an extraordinary combination of flawless preservation, minting anomalies, and sharp striking. Coins that somehow escaped the wear and tear of circulation, maintaining their original luster, intricate detail, and precision, are now cherished as rare jewels. Even more fascinating are the dimes that feature striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or those minted on incorrect planchets, which transform them from simple currency into historical artifacts. Imagine being a young child in 1977, given a shiny new dime for your allowance, and unknowingly holding a future treasure that would someday be worth more than your childhood home. As collectors dove deeper into these coins, something remarkable emerged. Certain pristine examples of the 1977 dime were commanding prices in the astonishing range of $75,000 to $150,000. Yes, a 10-cent piece, once forgotten at the bottom of a drawer, could today rival the price of an elegant estate or a gleaming sports car. Such figures are no mere myth, they are hard-earned prizes at elite auctions, the product of scarcity, perfection, and the irresistible allure of uncovering a lost treasure. The value isn't just tied to the age of the coin, but to its story, how it survived, how it stayed untouched by time, and how it now captures the dreams of collectors across generations. Imagine a 1977 dime graded MS-68 with full bands detail, where every groove of the torch's wrapping is visible in razor-sharp clarity. The full bands designation is especially important. It means that the horizontal bands tying the torch are fully struck and separated, a rare feat for dimes of that era, adding exponential value to the coin. Imagine a proof dime from San Francisco, graded PR-70 deep cameo, where the mirror-like fields and frosted devices dance with a hypnotic brilliance. These aren't just coins, they are miracles of survival, tiny masterpieces of metalwork that have defeated time itself. Yet beyond the cold figures of valuation, the 1977 dime holds a richer narrative. It is the story of a nation at a crossroads, of families saving coins in piggy banks without knowing they might be hoarding a future fortune, of collectors chasing legends, fueled by hope and wonder. Each 1977 dime discovered in pristine condition is a rediscovery of American spirit, quiet perseverance, unnoticed resilience, hidden greatness. These coins serve as time machines, carrying within them the very breath and dreams of the era they were born in. Finding one of these prized dimes today requires not just luck, but an eye trained to spot perfection, a heart patient enough to comb through thousands of coins, and a passion that sees value beyond shine. Estate sales, old collections, forgotten bank rolls tucked away in basements, all of these could be hiding the next miracle dime waiting to be plucked into history. Many incredible finds have been made not in prestigious auctions, but through a casual glance at a jar of change passed down through a family, a forgotten shoebox, or the contents of a grandfather's desk drawer. The thrill lies in the possibility. With each coin examined, there lingers the question, could this be the one? Could this small, seemingly insignificant dime hold the potential to change a life, to tell a forgotten story, to bridge the past and the future in a single, shining moment? Those who cherish the hunt understand that every glint of silver might lead to a new chapter of discovery, a new adventure. The 1977 United States one-dime coin reminds us that greatness often hides in plain sight. That a small, everyday object can carry within it the weight of stories, histories, and dreams. It is a beacon for all who believe that with patience and passion, even the smallest treasure can light up a lifetime. Every 1977 dime that survives today in pristine condition carries not just the portrait of Roosevelt but the invisible fingerprints of history, the hopes of a generation, and the silent promise that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest worth. In the ever-evolving landscape of 1990s America, a land humming with the energy of innovation, optimism, and cultural shifts, an unremarkable little coin passed from hand to hand, unnoticed by most but destined to hold a silent significance that would only be understood years later. It was the 1990 United States one-dime coin, bearing the steadfast image of Franklin D. Roosevelt on its obverse side, a portrait that had, by then, become a familiar emblem of resilience and national pride. The year 1990 itself was a threshold between decades, a moment when the echoes of the 80s exuberance met the anticipation of a bold, digital future. Amid these shifting tides, the 1990 dime quietly entered circulation, tucked into wallets, purses, cash registers, and piggy banks, never hinting at the extraordinary journey some of these coins would eventually take. Minted primarily at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities, the 1990 dime was part of the ongoing narrative of American coinage, a narrative rooted in practicality but occasionally punctuated by moments of sheer wonder. The design remained true to John R. Sinek's original vision, Roosevelt's determined profile on the front, a torch of liberty flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, symbolizing peace, strength, and the enduring American spirit. Millions of dimes were produced that year, so common and so essential that few people ever bothered to look closely at one. They jingled in pockets as Americans bought newspapers, fed parking meters, and grabbed a cup of coffee on their way to work, little realizing that some of those tiny coins were far more than simple currency, but time has a way of revealing hidden treasures to those patient and passionate enough to look. As decades passed and collectors became more attuned to the nuances of modern coinage, certain 1990 dimes began to stand out, coins struck with extraordinary precision, coins that somehow avoided the wear and tear that eroded the beauty of most others. Even more prized were the coins that carried errors or anomalies, off-center strikes, double dies, or rare planchet issues, that transformed them from everyday objects into marvels of numismatic intrigue. These rare survivors, glinting with untarnished brilliance and sharpness, became coveted by collectors who understood that even the most commonplace years could produce miraculous exceptions. To find a 1990 dime in pristine condition today is like capturing a perfect moment frozen in time. High-grade examples, often preserved unintentionally in rolls or sets, showcase razor-sharp details, Roosevelt's hair strands crisply defined, the torch's flames leaping with intricate clarity, and the oak and olive leaves standing proudly in fine relief. The luster, that subtle, swirling glow created by the original striking process, remains intact on these rare coins, shimmering under light like a whisper from the past. Even more breathtaking are the full-band specimens, where the bands encircling the torch are fully split and visible, a detail often muddied in lesser strikes. This precision elevates the coin to a status far beyond its face value, placing it firmly among the elite ranks of collectible dimes. Proof versions of the 1990 dime, minted in San Francisco, add yet another layer of enchantment. Coins designated as deep cameo proofs exhibit a mesmerizing contrast between frosted designs and mirrored fields, creating a visual drama that captures the eye and holds it spellbound. These coins, struck multiple times with specially prepared dies, are works of art in miniature, embodying the meticulous craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint at its finest. Owning such a specimen is akin to possessing a tiny, perfect echo of American history, preserved against the ravages of time. The journey of the 1990 dime from overlooked currency to sought-after treasure mirrors a broader truth, that value often hides in the most unassuming places, waiting for those with the wisdom and passion to seek it out. It's not merely about the metal or the mint mark, it's about the story, the survival, the serendipity of a coin that managed to defy odds and expectations. Collectors, historians, and dreamers alike are drawn to these coins because they represent more than monetary worth. They embody the magic of discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the enduring belief that greatness can be hidden in the smallest of things. Today, a pristine 1990 United States one-dime coin, especially one graded at the highest levels and exhibiting remarkable features like full bands or flawless proof qualities, can command breathtaking sums at auction. The market has spoken clearly, valuing these rare survivors at impressive figures that range from $60,000 to $120,000, a testament to their rarity, their beauty, and the timeless allure they hold in the hearts of those who dare to dream. In the bustling, rapidly evolving America of 2004, a year when technology seemed to leap forward every few months and the world felt smaller and more connected than ever before, a modest little coin continued its journey, quietly bridging the past and the present. It was the 2004 United States one-dime coin, a descendant of a proud lineage that traced back decades, and yet in the hands of ordinary people, it remained as unassuming as ever. No grand ceremony marked its circulation, no headlines proclaimed its arrival. And yet, unknown to the millions who would casually spend it at gas stations, coffee shops, and supermarkets, the 2004 dime would become a hidden jewel in the eyes of collectors years later. The coin bore the familiar face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose legacy was immortalized on the dime not merely for his role as president but for his courageous battle against polio and his founding of the March of Dimes. John R. Sinek's enduring design continued to grace the obverse, a quiet reminder of perseverance and hope. The reverse depicted the torch of liberty, framed by olive and oak branches, symbols of peace and strength, conveying a message that had remained timeless since its first appearance in 1946. While millions of dimes poured out of the Philadelphia and Denver mints that year, and a more limited, exquisitely crafted batch emerged from San Francisco's specialized proof production, only a tiny fraction would survive the chaos of circulation in a condition worthy of true admiration. On the surface, a 2004 dime looked no different from its brothers and sisters of adjacent years. It jingled in pockets, clattered in cash registers, and found itself lost between couch cushions, living a life both invisible and indispensable. But to the keen-eyed collector, 2004 held secrets, quiet marvels waiting to be uncovered. For amidst the common, there existed coins of extraordinary quality, specimens that had somehow evaded the rough journey through countless hands, preserving instead their original mint luster, their razor-sharp details, and the stunning, delicate features that made them sparkle like tiny, unrecognized masterpieces. It is among these coins that the story of the 2004 dime truly takes flight. Coins graded at the very highest levels by expert services, those with immaculate surfaces, deep, frosted devices against brilliant mirrored fields, and flawless edges, command a level of respect that borders on reverence within the numismatic community. Especially prized are dimes that display the elusive full torch designation, where every minute band and vertical line within the torch is fully struck and distinct. These marvels are more than coins, they are artifacts of precision, chance, and preservation. A 2004 dime in such condition, particularly those rare proof versions with deep cameo contrasts, can capture and reflect light in a way that seems almost magical, each coin a perfect, frozen echo of its moment of creation. The rarity of these pristine survivors becomes clear when examining their journey. The overwhelming majority of coins entered circulation immediately, enduring the countless bumps, scrapes, and fingerprints that eroded their beauty. Only those set aside in original rolls, forgotten in government-issued mint sets, or lovingly preserved by collectors escaped this fate. Finding one today, still glowing with its original vibrance, still sharp in every line and curve, is a discovery that quickens the pulse of even the most seasoned coin enthusiast. As collectors and historians began to look more closely at the coins of the early 21st century, the 2004 dime emerged as a sleeper hit, a coin whose subtle charm belied its incredible potential value. Those coins that ticked every box of quality and rarity, immaculate surfaces, full details, exceptional eye appeal, soon attracted intense interest at auctions and private sales. Midway through this incredible journey, the true magnitude of the 2004 dime's worth became undeniable. With specimens in near-perfect condition fetching astonishing sums between $45,000 and $90,000, the once humble coin transformed into a gleaming symbol of hidden treasure and the incredible stories still waiting to be uncovered within the pockets of everyday America. The magic of the 2004 United States dime lies not just in its value but in what it represents. It is a testament to how something so small, so easily overlooked, can carry within it layers of meaning and wonder. It reminds us that history does not always announce itself with fanfare and fireworks. Sometimes, it sits quietly in the palm of your hand, disguised as ordinary, waiting for someone with vision and patience to recognize its true worth. In every shining, preserved 2004 dime, there exists not just a piece of metal, but a snapshot of a moment in American life, a story of survival against impossible odds, and a promise that greatness often hides in the most unexpected places. The year was 1984, a vibrant moment in American history, a time defined by bold dreams, restless innovation, and a spirit of transformation that swept through every corner of society. It was a year when people wore their colors brighter, their hopes higher, and their ambitions bigger. Technology was beginning to make promises of a future beyond imagination, while the echoes of classic traditions still held strong in the hearts of many. In the midst of this vibrant, ever-evolving tapestry, a small yet profoundly significant artifact quietly entered circulation, the 1984 United States one-dime coin. Though tiny in size and common in usage, this coin would eventually become a silent messenger of its era, a piece so richly woven into the everyday lives of Americans that few could have predicted the value it would carry decades later. The obverse of the 1984 dime bore the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the beloved leader who had shepherded the nation through some of its darkest days. His strong profile, designed by John R. Sinek years earlier, radiated resilience, compassion, and unwavering leadership. Even after so many years, the design had lost none of its gravitas. Every line etched into Roosevelt's visage told a story: the strength against personal affliction, the courage during political storms, and the visionary hope for a stronger, united America. Around him, inscriptions of "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year 1984 framed the image, creating a portrait not just of a man, but of the American spirit itself. Turning the coin over revealed a reverse design steeped in symbolism. A flaming torch at the center signified the light of freedom, while an olive branch to the left represented peace, and an oak branch to the right symbolized strength and endurance. These images, though crafted decades earlier, resonated profoundly with the aspirations of the American people in 1984. It was a year in which many sought peace amid Cold War tensions, strength in a rapidly shifting global economy, and freedom through technological breakthroughs that promised to change the human experience forever. Throughout that year, countless 1984 dimes made their way across counters and cash registers, stuffed into pockets and wallets, dropped into payphones and vending machines. They lived everyday lives just like the people who used them. They were present in fleeting moments: a quick coffee purchase, a bus fare, a child's first encounter with saving money. Worn and passed from hand to hand, these coins bore witness to untold personal histories, moments of joy, hardship, and everything in between. And yet, as with so many treasures of history, it was not the common, battered examples that would later stir the hearts of collectors, but the rare, immaculate survivors, stored away by chance or by foresight. A handful of pristine 1984 dimes managed to escape the relentless friction of circulation. Some were tucked into government-issued mint sets, lovingly preserved by collectors or forgotten in the backs of drawers. Others might have been casually set aside by someone who simply admired the coin's newness, its sparkle, its promise. These untouched gems would, over time, become some of the most sought-after modern coins, precious not because of their age alone, but because they stood as perfect artifacts in a world that so often wears down its treasures. As the years passed and the numismatic world turned its gaze to the coins of the late 20th century, the 1984 dime found itself at the center of growing admiration. Collectors began to hunt for examples with razor-sharp strikes, brilliant surfaces, and the elusive full torch designation, a term reserved for coins where every ridge and groove of the torch was fully defined, a testament to a superior strike and careful preservation. Finding such an example was no small feat. It required patience, expertise, and no small amount of luck. But the rewards were extraordinary. In the unfolding story of this unassuming little coin, a stunning truth emerged: Pristine specimens could fetch anywhere from $55,000 to an astonishing $105,000, depending on their condition, rarity, and the sharpness of their strike. This valuation was not merely a reflection of scarcity, but of something deeper, a recognition that the small, everyday objects we so often overlook can sometimes hold the greatest beauty, the richest stories, and the most profound connections to our shared past. A flawless 1984 dime became more than just a monetary prize. It became a talisman of an era, a tangible link to a time of hope, ambition, and change. Imagine, if you will, holding such a coin in your hand today. It is light, almost weightless, and yet the memories it carries are profound. It has survived decades without tarnish, without blemish, as though it had been waiting patiently to tell its story. Under the soft gleam of light, the details of Roosevelt's profile come alive, the torch on the reverse dances with meaning, and every inscription speaks to a time when America was busy dreaming bigger dreams. This is not just a dime, it is a portal, a living testament to endurance, to the art of survival against overwhelming odds. The journey of the 1984 one-dime coin teaches us an enduring lesson. That even the humblest things we encounter, things we might otherwise spend without a second thought, carry the potential for greatness. That in a world rushing always toward the future, there is unparalleled value in pausing, in noticing, in preserving. That hidden among the countless artifacts of daily life are rare treasures waiting to be discovered, each with a story rich enough to transcend generations. Thus, the 1984 United States one-dime coin stands today not just as an object of numismatic admiration, but as a celebration of the extraordinary found within the ordinary. Its survival, its beauty, and its value remind us that even the smallest details of our lives are part of the grand, sweeping tapestry of history. And in the quiet gleam of that tiny coin, generations to come will find a shining echo of the spirit of 1984, a spirit that continues to inspire and endure.